WUWAH.
Good morning. I hope you slept well. My name is David. I can't say. Oh, bye then. Have you got your toy now? My name is David.
Turns out my proper microphone wasn't plugged in and it was using the laptop audio. Hooray! My name is David. I can't say my surname or the name of the show within the first minute because the algorithm apparently doesn't like swearing within the first minute. So I'm going to use this time to encourage you. I hope that you have gotten out of bed. And if you haven't got out of bed yet, I reckon you can do it. Give it a go. There's good things outside of the bed. There's obviously good things inside the bed. You're inside the bed. But maybe get out of the bed. Also, make sure you drink some water this morning, maybe do some stretches, and listen to a song that you love. You know, a song that you love that you haven't listened to in a while? For me, it'd probably be like Itchy Coo Park. Love listening to that in the morning. Just gives you a little bit of pep. On this show, I ask comedians and creative people about their morning routines because a lot of us work into the night. And therefore, we shouldn't be good at mornings, and I want to know how they are all coping and whether they're coping as badly as me. I also quiz them about their expertise. My guest for this episode is the amazing Dani Johns. She's an amazing comedian, an amazing MC, both comedian and garage. She's about to support Jason Manford on tour later this year, which is very, very exciting. She's also very, very good in car shares. A lot of comedian car shares can be great. Dani Johns is really good at it. We play this game called Cows. The first person to shout cows after they've spotted cows wins. Dani is very good at it. She's also an expert at Chav Culture, so I shall be quizzing her on that later. My name is David Hoare, and welcome to Waking Up with a Hoare.
Waking up with a Hoare. Waking up with a Hoare. Waking up with a Hoare.
So it's like a morning show for people to wake up to, where I'm going to interview like creative people about their mornings, because most people's morning routines on podcasts are like, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I do 9 hours of weights and everything. And I don't know anybody who does that, but I know a lot of people who don't do that, and I want to know what they're up to. But it's designed for people to listen to like as they wake up. So if you know when you wake up, you don't want like a full frontal assault of like filth. You can still swear. But...
I don't know if that is an accurate description of me, actually, David.
Oh, sorry, I don't.
No, I'm joking. I'll use my gentle morning voice. Good morning, everyone.
Radio.
How are you?
You really made that sound like school assembly. Good morning, Mrs. Johns. Good morning, everybody.
Mr. Hoare. Do you have any teachers in your family?
No, but the headmaster at my school was called Mr. Hoare with the same spelling, but not related. So basically every time I had a new teacher, they would go, they'd be like really like, oh, need to really...
Oh my God, did you get beat up for somebody that wasn't even your dad?
No. This also speaks volumes to the different lives we lived, where everyone was like trying to be best behavior because potentially my dad was a headmaster, whereas in your circles you're like, their dad might be in charge. Just kick the shit out of him.
Beat him up, give him a wedgie. Hey, so, you know about my school? Someone tasered one of the teachers one day. Like very different.
One day. What? Hang on.
One day more.
Is that what that song's about? Tasering in school.
As I started to sing that, I started Les Mis, and I think I went into a bread advert. I don't know what tune that actually was.
I'm here for it. What year was the child that tasered a teacher?
Oh, I was in the year it happened, or the year of school they were in?
The year of school they were in.
Oh, I don't know, because I don't really know who the culprit was. It definitely wasn't someone in my school. This was in senior school. I mean, like annually, I would say it was around 2005.
But was it like one of the older kids who was like got ideas above their station, or was it a younger kid who'd like found something and was like not really sure what they were doing with it?
Again, I don't really know, but I think the rumor was like maybe a year 10 or 11 was expelled and came in to just I'll try not to swear too much because it's the morning.
No, you can swear, it's fine. Just
to fuck shit up. And they fucked up the teacher.
They got expelled.
It's not funny, actually, is it?
Wow.
It really shouldn't be funny, but
It's not great, but it is a very odd story to hear.
It's really quite horrible. I mean, I suppose that is literally GBH in it, but like being a kid, obviously we were all stupid and had no compassion because we were little arseholes. So just the fact that somebody had a taser and tased the teacher was just like, you know, Christmas Day, really.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, in terms
they were
of
fine, like
school rumors, yeah, I mean, they could do a lot worse. But like in terms of like school rumors that you hear about schools, somebody tasered a teacher is like, that's like, you can trade off that for weeks.
Yeah, pretty epic.
Fantastic.
Because where do you even get a taser from? And also, like, just remember, it was like 2005, so it wasn't like you know, now you got like Vinted, you could buy anything.
I like the fact that you think you get tasers from Vinted.
What else do you purchase on the app?
I've got vintage tasers. You know, the electricity circuit boards are just better. You know, they're less cheap. You know, they were built to like. Everyone's getting a new taser every year these days, aren't they? And like the companies try and brick them after a year. So, whereas old school tasers work very well. It sounds like Finn Taylor's like drag name or wrestling name.
I love it. Anyway, I love this. This is the morning show. You invited me, and I've got 2 minutes in, and we're on tasers.
I would expect nothing less. Dani Johns, are you a morning person?
Yes. Oh. I am a big type A. Oh, no, what? Rude. I didn't know there were going to be sound effects. I liked it. No, I'm a type A-er. Like I've probably got high functioning anxiety.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Oh, what does type A mean?
Type A is kind of like super organized. Like, you know, if I go on holiday, I write a list. Even though I know I've got to pack pants and sun cream, I will write a list. And I have a routine, and I have every single thing I ever do goes in my Google Calendar. I set reminders throughout the day to do stuff. Like, it's a very much like need to plan my life and hit all requirements that are needed of me. And if stuff goes wrong, it freaks me out.
Right. Is your Google Calendar incredibly colourful? Is it colour-coded?
Yes. It's colour coordinated, and I've got different email accounts. So there's like Danielle's appointments show up in the phone, but also Danny's comedy stuff. So it all comes up. It's all different colours. And I sometimes use little emojis and symbols. So when it's a gig, it goes into dark purple, and there's a little microphone emoji at the front of it.
This is the sort of stuff I'd aspire to, but it would take me about 9 years to set up, and by that point I'd be over it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Thing I was discussing with Sanjay in the previous episode, a thing with ADHD is like you just need novelty. So before you work out you've got ADHD, you come up with the system that you're going to do for the rest of your life, and you do it for like 2 days really well, 2 days awfully, and then you spend the rest of the week going, I'm not doing my system, and you hate yourself. And then next week you come up with a new system, and you're like, that old system was rubbish. And then it sounds like you've got it down, and I'm insanely jealous.
I am very organised, and for the most part it is useful, but there's also like times where like if a plan changes, it disturbs me greatly. And like I just don't relax. Like I never chill. Like part of this whole type A personality is being like you can't relax. Like you feel guilty if you relax. Like you're constantly doing stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
So I feel like as a comedian, it's quite a useful, you know, maybe mental dysfunction to have, because you can always be doing stuff.
We've all got them.
But like I'm a nightmare. Even when I'm ill, like if I'm ill and I can't gig and I can't work or whatever, I will be led on my sofa dying, and I'll still be like, oh, should I take the nets off and put them in the washing machine? I haven't done that for a while. I could crawl to the washing machine and then I could put them out if I had to. I just can't. I have to be doing stuff.
This is really refreshing to hear for somebody who is very disorganized. That I'm like, well, if you're organized, you just have your life sorted out, and then you're like, yeah, I'm a nightmare because I'm so organized, and I'm like, what? We can't win,
and I can't be spontaneous. Yeah, no, it's like I can't be spontaneous either. Like if you would have messaged me today and been like, actually, Dani, instead of doing this online, we're going to do it an hour later, and could you meet me at like your home studio? I would for like 10 minutes just be like, why has it changed? Why is it like? But I was prepared. I was prepared to go now. I was prepared to be at home. Like it makes absolutely no difference. But then, do you know what I would do? Is what this how pathetic I am. I would go into my Google Calendar and update the time and change where it is just because it has to be correct.
Right. Do you use it for tracking what you've done as well? Because I find like when I'm doing my tax return, I'm not only looking at my calendar, but I'm also looking at Google Photos to be like, if I've missed any kind of like mileage from a gig where I like got booked on the day and didn't put it in my calendar, then I'm like, oh yeah, I drove to like Chichester or something on like very last minute or something.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, by default, because my whole life goes in my calendar, so I always know what I'm doing. But I really like SUBSTACK. Actually, should I show you this? Right. So I
Please don't show any information that you don't dox yourself.
It's not going to get me in trouble. I'll just cover up the goals just because it's a bit cringy. But for example, I need to write some new material.
Yeah.
So I've made myself a little chart.
Oh.
So it doesn't really matter. Basically, I've got some bits I'm trying to do, and then I've got a W for writing, an E for editing, and a P for performing. And then each week until certain deadlines I've got to do. And then what I'll do is if I've written some new material, I'll tick off the W this week.
Wow.
That's great.
No. You're organised. It's good, but I feel like you're looking at it like this is a necessity to get me to where I need to be. But if you don't have it, then all hell will break loose. Whereas I'm in my head, I would love something like that. I'm fascinated that you've printed it off.
I'll make you one.
I'll use it for a day or two, and then I've got a pretty good system now. My current system is I sort of update. I've been on a sort of similar iteration of spreadsheet management, but like they've sort of marginally changed over the past couple of months, basically. So I'm in a pretty good, I was going to say rut routine. I'm sort of like doing like well-trodden rut at the moment. But yeah, no. The fact that you printed it off just means that you trust your own handwriting, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, my handwriting's pretty bad. I think it's because I was a child of the star chart. So I'm always chasing stickers.
That's amazing. Do you get very excited by stickers?
Yeah. I don't actually have any. I should buy some because I just tick stuff off. But did you have a star chart like when you were little? If you did your little jobs and you remember to whatever?
I think there might have been that in school, but not at home, no.
Oh, I remember having one on the fridge. I don't know what it was for. It was probably like brushed her own teeth and didn't piss her pants.
I've still got one of them, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair.
No stickers the past month, but it's fine. Are you good at getting out of bed then, if you're a morning person?
Actually, out of everything in my morning routine, that's probably the bit that I'm not the best at. But again, I counteract it with my planning.
You plan how to get out of bed.
Okay, yeah.
If you've got a star chart for getting out of bed, put one leg out sticker.
No, but I've got like an alarm system. So actually, like waking up and getting up, I'm not very good at it. I like to lie around for a bit and just kind of like wake up. So what I do is I set a series of alarms because the first one is just the like disrupt me alarm. And then 5 minutes later, there's like, no, like nearly get up now alarm. And then 5 minutes later, there's like, no, you need to be awake. And then 15 minutes later, there's the like, actually get up now, bitch alarm.
That's good. I like the fact that you've like learned that about yourself. I have a very similar sort of. I have like a one that goes off 5 minutes before my other alarm goes off, which is just basically like because if I just have that main alarm, I feel like that's far too just like immediately into the world.
Yeah, I hate it.
5 minute buffer's good. But I've also got I think it's like an app called like Sleep or something, but it's got alternative alarms like ways to turn off alarms. So like maths puzzles or find the sheet,
I'd hate that.
or like stuff like that. Well, because my brain just won't engage basically, and then I have a separate alarm in this room which is outside of my bedroom.
Do you have to get up to turn that one off?
Yes, and my brain can still in a sleepy state turn off 3 alarms that I've got, 2 on my phone, 1 on there, and get back into bed and fall asleep again. So
that's wild. David, I love how we've developed this friendship, and we are like we could not be more different in like every way.
I'm fascinated though by like because I struggle with it every day. I've never not struggled with waking up ever. And I've dreamt of like, oh, one day I'll sort it out. And then it's like, well, I'm not going to sort it out. But it's really interesting to hear other people, especially if you identify as a morning person, but you still struggle to get out of bed. I find that in my brain, all morning people just wake up and they're like, la-di-da, I've been blessed with a better brain than everyone else and I'm morally superior. That's why I voodoo, because I just feel like more like there are morning people walking around looking down at people who aren't morning people, being like, "Well, just become a morning person." I'm like,
we
I
accept
never
you
could.
guys.
Thank you.
I think that's part of the trick, though, is like I let myself have those sort of 15 minutes of just lying around and not really doing anything. I think that's the bit where I'm like, oh, see, by being prepared, I get to just lie here for a minute and not do a lot. Whereas sometimes I would, especially when I used to work on drama production, so I would usually be at work at 7 a.m. And in that situation, I know, vile, in that time, I would get up at the absolute last minute. Like, I would literally get up at like 6:45, brush my teeth, get dressed, and leave. Wait, no, earlier than that, because I was there at 7. Anyway, yeah, so whatever. And I just hated it. I was so stressed. And then when I started to be like, I actually would rather wake up earlier and like process the day for a minute.
I'm here for that. I'm definitely here for that.
By process the day, I just mean look at Facebook for 15 minutes.
Sure,
But still.
yeah. I really want an app like what you get from Reels or TikTok, but it's only nice things. Because obviously there's an algorithm offering you all sorts of things, but if somebody could develop an app which was just only nice things, I'd really like that. For like go, because obviously like you can engage in the news and you can engage in other things when you're more awake, or but when you're either just waking up or going to sleep, I just kind of want like videos of dogs being cute and people doing skateboard tricks quite well, and that's all.
What if you like if you were on TikTok or whatever? What if you like save or favorite all your best, happiest, nicest dog videos, and then you could just look through that feed? You've seen them already, but
look at you expecting me to be more organised. Do
you know, I've got another morning tip for you, actually.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
That you might like. I've got one of those clocks that gradually lights up.
Oh yeah,
half an hour. Yeah.
Another comedian was telling me about that. They've got one of them the other day, actually.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by them. I'm just. Yeah. Anyway, what do you have for breakfast? Do you have like a similar breakfast every day, or do you vary it?
I am weird with breakfast. I can sometimes, again, I think it's because I've had a weird schedule. Some jobs I've started at 7, and then sometimes when I'm just doing comedy, I don't eat because I've probably at McDonald's on the way home and I'm not as hungry in the morning. Sure. So if I'm doing like some writing or I've got some stuff to do in the day, I might be quite good. I might have like yogurt and granola, a bit of fruit. That's a very recent addition of me trying to be good. It's going all right so far. More typically, I eat sandwiches or soup for breakfast.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of sandwiches? What kind of soup?
Anything. So I've never really liked cereal. I'm not like a fan of crumpets, toast. Like literally, me eating yogurt and granola has happened within the last 6 months, and I am in my 30s now. So yeah, just whatever. Cheese and tomato sandwich, ham salad sandwich, soup. I make soup, so it's like chicken noodle.
Do you have chicken noodle soup?
Vegetable.
Several hours before lunch.
Yeah, like 10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a liquidy morning, but I would argue actually that a soup isn't that different to a smoothie, is it? Like, all right, one's hot, one's cold, one's fruit, one's veg. Other than that,
no, there is like assigned meals for certain types of day. It's
but
like
why?
But this is it. It's like
see, this is the one part of me that is like against the system.
Everything else.
And also, I also don't care what I eat in the morning. So, like, if I had a Chinese takeaway the night before and there's leftovers and I want it and it's 10, 11 a.m., I'll eat it. I don't care.
That's good. That's really good. I'm proud of you for busting out a system. I think, yeah, there's just like, these are the breakfast foods and these are the lunch foods, but I feel like everybody is trying to attain like a perfect version of themselves and would maybe feel guilty about that. But also I feel like hot soup when I wake up, I don't know if it's just my own neurodivergency being like, oh, like I wouldn't want that texture that early. But as you say, sandwiches, it is bread.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have a toasty for breakfast, would you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess as well with like comedy, you end up eating at weird times of day, don't you? So sometimes like your schedule is just whatever. So I'll just eat whatever when I fancy it. Sometimes I've come home and then been a bit peckish, and then at like 11 o'clock, then I've had the granola and yogurt.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like after dinner you could have breakfast foods again. Like before you go to bed, you can sort of have, if you see someone eating cereal just before bed, you're like, that's fine. But that's just kind of.
I think within reason, you just got to eat what you want when you can. Obviously, not in the absolute extreme. But if you're gonna be someone like me, I used to be like, oh, I just don't like breakfast. I don't like any breakfast. And I'd be like, well, you like food, so just have something else. Don't be
exactly.
Like, be hungry.
If it doesn't work for you, then that's fine. Because that's exactly right. That's great. I appreciate that. But
I have freaked out many people that I've worked with when they've seen me come in with a bowl of soup at like 9:30, 10 in the office, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Danny's breakfast." What does it look like?
Fern Brady was saying on Taskmaster that she had a particular kind of like, I think it was like an Asian soup that they like, it's an Asian breakfast soup, and everyone was a bit like, "Oh, maybe." So yeah, I mean, if you're happy, that's fine. Do you have any particular drink with it as well?
No. So okay, I will do that. If I have soup, I won't have a drink with it. What I would generally do: wake up, have a coffee, and then at whatever point in the morning I feel hungry, I'll just eat for whatever I want at that point. Sometimes it's like 9:30, sometimes it's more like 11. Just it kind of depends if I've had a gig the night before or if I'm doing like, work in the day. Or
that's good stuff.
Do you get up? Do you get up and you're hungry like ASAP?
I think if I don't go, I need tea and water pretty swiftly, and then if I don't eat breakfast, if I give myself the option to then work out when I might have breakfast, then I'm just going to put it off and not have it, and then I'll feel awful. So I've just built it into my routine to be like, stick the kettle on, work out what I'm going to have for breakfast whilst the kettle's boiling, and I need to have tea first, and then I'll have coffee. I can't have coffee immediately. But yeah, like I need to like, it's more just kind of like the trial and error of not eating early and then feeling like garbage. Like today, I've just been to the osteopath, which most recent times, every couple of months recently, I've been having my osteopath appointment at 2, which is usually when I have lunch. So I've been having breakfast, not having any lunch, leaving here at like 1, going to the osteopath, being there till like 3, coming back. And then I'm like, oh, I haven't had any lunch, and it's like nearly 4 o'clock. And feeling like garbage. So like I put in my calendar, and I need to put in my calendar for next month as well, to have like, I had brunch today. I like had sausages and bacon and waffles and stuff before going out, and I felt like a proper grown.
Yay! But that's the thing, isn't it? Because like you could eat at 4 o'clock and you might already be thinking, oh, I've got to drive to a gig in a minute.
Well, exactly. We do weird times. Yeah. So do you have like a particular morning routine then? But it doesn't sound like you do.
Not like because every day, my day's different. Like every day of the week and week to week, because I freelance in bits and bobs and do comedy, so it's all just different. I always do the same things, and the first thing I do is get up, brush my teeth, cleanse the face, and then serum, and then Factor 50 sun cream.
I'm such a music producer guy. Serum is the name of like a
just like a moisturizer.
And I was like, you use a base synthesizer.
No, like a moisturising product.
No, and then my brain was like, oh yeah, that's stupid.
She's in her 30s now, so and yeah, so that I would say. Always wear sun cream.
But you're not like regimented when you get up. You just got like do these couple of things and then carry on with your day.
I get up at 8 pretty much every day, regardless of whether that's a day with a late night or like an office-based writing day or whatever. Like, yeah, I tend to just wake up at 8 no matter what.
Right.
So I think if I reckon, and I've never tested this because I couldn't possibly be out of control for 1 minute, but I reckon I could probably turn off my alarms and I'd still wake up on time because I'm so ingrained with what I do.
You're like, if like a
So
bridge
maybe I
had
do have
no
quite a routine
handrails, you just wouldn't walk off the bridge, you just carry on. But you
I
just would
reckon.
never want to get rid of the safety element of it.
I would never test it. I don't know. If I had a day off, I would test it, but then what's the point? But I think my brain knows, like, you're getting up at about this time, and it does it.
Well, the thing is, the only reason you need to test it is if it wasn't going well. But if it's going well, then why?
Yeah. What
Yeah,
about you? What's your routine?
Oh,
Do you wear sun cream, sir? Because you should.
I have been
very
wearing it this week. I need to be wearing it more. No, yeah, like fall out of bed at like, well, as I say, there's an alarm. There's another alarm 5 minutes later that's on my phone and in another room. If I remember to put that one on, because I sometimes turn it off and then don't put it back on again. When I wake up and stir, my dog is either already on the bed or in another room with my girlfriend if she's still here, if she's working from home, in which case she'll open the door and the dog will like launch itself at me. And yeah, it's very nice having a dog just for morning cuddles. But then, yeah, eventually drag myself out of bed, usually scrolling, which I need to not be doing because it's just horrible stuff. This is why I want a nice app, please. Content create. The people who make the apps, make a nice one, please. And then, yeah, hit the kettle, see what breakfast there is, because sometimes I've planned and sometimes there isn't. And then I sit and try and plan out my day. But most of my morning is me going, oh, God, I haven't had tea yet. Oh, God, I haven't got out of bed yet. Oh, God, I haven't done this yet. Oh, I need to make sure I have my meds. Oh, okay, what food do we have? Okay, great, I need to sit down. Oh, I need to find a video to put on in the background. Okay, what do I need to do today? Where it sounds like you've got all of that already done and you're fine with your system. So...
Yeah, I think I'm so busy I have to just know what I'm doing at all times because otherwise I then get overwhelmed with thinking how many things I've got to do. So I just, like, Billy, you just plan it out. Like, this
well,
is
so
what
I would like
I'm
that,
doing.
but I also get overwhelmed if it's too rigid because I can go so easily off track. So easily. So very, very easily. So it needs like a bit like how when I write out my jokes, I can only do bullet points. I can't write it all out and I can't just remember it. I just need to hit these points. And that's kind of where I'm at with my days. Whereas if I hit these points, it's fine. But getting there might be really quick and sometimes doesn't. And the other thing is if I actually do it efficiently, I then congratulate myself and then spend 10 minutes being like, I'm so great. Maybe this is going to be me every day. And then I go behind. Just a fucking idiot. The incredible Acaster is coming to Chops Comedy in Bedminster, Sunday, 14th of September. You will have seen Acaster on Netflix, QI, Live at the Apollo, Have I Got News for You, Jurassic World Dominion, and he won the Edinburgh Comedy Award for Best Show at the Fringe in 2023. Ahe will be performing 2 previews of his new tour show at Bar 57 in Bedminster, a 6 p.m. early show and an 8 p.m. late show. Tickets available via Head First. Anyway, Dani, we're here today not only to talk about your morning, but your expertise. You're obviously an expert in Chav Culture. And
I would like to say that you appointed me this topic.
No, I think, isn't it say like Dani Johns, like...
yeah, and then when you were like...
MA in Chav Culture.
BSc, actually. It's a science degree. Thank you.
Okay, it's not just a...
My PhD is in Talisa from N-Dubs.
There you go.
Oh, that was a little joke in itself, wasn't it? PhD in Talisa, because she had a sex tape leak. Do you remember that? Oh my God. Terrible.
Wait, what does PhD got to do with sex tape leaking?
Well, a PhD or a pretty huge dick. Did you know?
I think you and I are typing different things into the internet, Dani.
Have you never heard that? I swear that's like a jokey like pickup line. Guys would be like, yeah, I've got a PhD, pretty huge dick. Well, that's from a film. It's from something.
That sounds about right. My girlfriend has a PhD, but just like a philosophy doctorate for her science. So
yeah, darling. I mean, that's
I think if I made that
one.
joke near her, she'd get very offended because she worked so hard to get an actual PhD. Can you give me a little explanation of Chav Culture, just to summarise it to people who wouldn't be aware of it?
Oh my God, Chav Culture. I would say it is the culture of the stereotypical working class as portrayed in the media, film and television. Think Vicky Pollard, Think Talisa from N-Dubs. Think Lauren from oh my god, what was she? Catherine Tate show. I'm a bothered. And yeah, love it.
What did you wear as a chav? Right, so the reason I suggested this, I should say, is Dani has a joke, which is I'm a recovering. Well, you say I'm.
Yeah. So my little bit is about being a recovering chav. Yeah. Sorry, I was about the context. You just sound like you're being a real dick, don't you? Actually, so we should.
I usually sound like I'm a bigger dick.
I say this about myself, so you have permission to say it. Just for the listeners, don't cancel David. He's allowed to say.
Don't cancel me for this. Cancel me for many other things, but not this. What did you wear as a chav?
Oh my god! So I never could I never really had the money for it, so I never had like the real one. So I'd have like a copy version. But I used to love juicy tracksuits, juicy couture velour tracksuits, and UGG boots. Like that was the most stunning thing. And to be fair,
material.
Yeah, I love it. I still would wear it now. I've actually got a couple of bits. I'm not gonna lie. I don't wear it out of the house.
Flying clothes.
Beautiful. What else? Otherwise, just like tracksuit, just like cash. Liked a little bit of the Buffalo trainers. Used to quite like them.
Did you have particular tracksuits that you had, like colour or brand or whatever?
No, I don't. I wasn't massively into brands, I don't think. Also, like, we wouldn't have been the sort of stuff we would have like spent loads of money on anyway. So I do specifically remember having a cream velour velvety tracksuit that I loved. Like that and like buffaloes would have been like the best thing.
So the reason I'm so fascinated by it is because I obviously grew up pretty damn middle class, but I also grew up as like a what I would describe as a grebo, what I think your area, a jitter, mosher. Not they call them goths, even though goths are a different thing. And before chavs, we called them townies, even though townies is what people in the countryside call anybody that doesn't just live in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, and it was a real like us and them type thing, which at the time I thought was mostly about the fact that I listened to nu metal and chavs listened to garage, I think. What music did you listen to?
Interesting. See, I felt like I bridged the gap. Maybe I could have been a peacekeeper between the two because I did have a little jitter stage as well. Mm-hmm. I know you'd be shocked. I don't think I've ever admitted this before. Oh my God.
Please tell me about your jitter stage immediately.
So it was just, shoes would have been Vans and Etnies.
Awesome.
Studded belts.
I've literally got a new pair of Vans on the way. They're being delivered today.
Studded belts, and then I don't know, maybe it wasn't like super jittery, but like I don't know, right. So do you remember Skins?
Yeah.
The first season, that sometimes the girls looked a bit chavvy, sometimes they looked a bit jittery. Like that was the vibe. So
I guess by the late noughties, there'd been a bit of like.
Yeah, it was a bit of a
cohesion between the two, because I feel like early 2000s when it was like nu metal was at its peak, and me and my friends would all be attempting to skateboard really badly, and we all want to listen to music with like big parental advisory stickers on the front of it, and it was like the combination of rock and hip hop, and your mum doesn't understand, and it was all like Limp Bizkit and Papa Roach and Linkin Park and that. And then we were against the chavs or townies. But in my head, it was just this very much like, oh, I like this and you like that. But then looking back on it, oh, God, how old am I? Let's say 23, 24, 25 years later, it is a bit
I was going to say, don't pretend you're 23, 24.
No, I say, looking back that far, it very much is like a middle class versus working class thing. Which
and I feel like a lot of it was the same. Like you know, chatty girls like low rise jeans, right? Chatty girls wear low rise jeans with their thongs pulled up, right? Jitter girls would wear low rise jeans with black lacy knickers and like 5 belts. Like it was all kind of samey. Like everyone would have big earrings. You know, everybody would have like overly gelled hair, like either like their. Oh my God, I can't do it. I don't have a fringe, but like that kind of. Does this? Oh my God, look at my comb over. Like that. Do you remember that?
That's good. You're drifting into like post nu metal into emo sort of way there, though. That's like,
my God, it looks like
listening to Paramore and Taking Back Sunday and
have that bit where they'd like
romance.
do like a puff. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I feel like again that could be very chavvy,
Yeah,
but it
sure.
could also be a jitter thing.
Yeah, I think if you
Sorry
dyed
for
your
those of
hair
you who are
black and did
listening.
it, then it would be more a Grubo Mosher type thing. But because, and also just like where you loiter, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you end up loitering anywhere in particular?
I loitered. Well, this is the thing, right? Because when I was at my chaviest, I started going to drama groups and like learning musical theatre and stuff. Yeah. So literally, I used to go to like these posh parts of Bristol, like Clifton and Westby-on-Trim, where all these little posh assholes used to call me the chav. Like there was me, and I had a lovely friend called Lydia. If she's ever listening to this, sorry, but she knows they also called her the chav. And we were like the two they called the chavs. Right. And it was because we would wear like tracksuits to drama, and they would have like dance leggings and dance trainers, and I'd be there just like my whatever. And yeah, and so when I was my chaviest was kind of that, and then it kind of. I was loitering. I wasn't really loitering. I was doing stuff. This is what I mean. I've always had a schedule. I've always been doing stuff.
That's so funny. You're like an organised chav. That's great.
Yeah, and then a lot of my friends from school went like more towards the jitter phrase, and then they would hang out on College Green and Park Street.
Right.
And then Skins happened, and it was like every teenager in Bristol just wanted to be Skins. So it all kind of mushed together. I mean, that's how I felt.
Really? I was wondering if there was like a rebel against it, or if you were all like, oh my God, we're being betrayed. We need to like conform to this. That's really interesting.
Yeah, well, all my friends, like everyone I knew loved it. And like we all wanted to be in it. We were all like, they used to do open auditions. I like went to all of them. But it was really annoying, right? Because first of all, why would they never cast me? I would have been, rude, would have been great. But they would never tell you what the open audition was for. So like I went to one, and literally we queued for like 4, 5, 6 hours, walked into the room, said our name and our age, and then they would look at you and just be like, okay, bye. And they might pull one person out. That was it, right? So I remember us going to that particular audition, which took hours and hours and hours, and then finding out later on that what they were casting for was the identical twins.
Right.
And Naomi, who was a lesbian character. So they were clearly either looking for actual fucking twins or one very particular role. So I was like, what a waste of time. Like, if you would have just told people that, because there was just hundreds and hundreds of people. It was at Bristol Grammar School. I just remember because that was such a posh school. And we were just like, oh my God. But yeah, we'd all go and literally just walk in the room. They'd look at you and be like, okay, bye.
That's awful.
Yeah. And I went to a few of them. Like each time they held them, I was like, I'll go.
I'm so sorry to hear that you never got into Skins. You just got to live real life Skins instead. There are people that never even got to visit a set of Skins, and you got to do that every day.
I lived Skins, but actually, I know a few people who were actually in Skins. Some of them who had quite significant parts, and actually, I think they had a very hard time. So I think actually I was better off not being in it.
The limelight too early.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like they were like 16 being filmed with their, in thongs and stuff. Like anyway, let's not get too dark. This is a morning podcast.
You feel like what music were you listening to as a chav though? This is my main question.
Oh, I like N-Dubs.
N-Dubs, that's good.
I was always more of a pop girl, even with I never went like Chavvy Garage like ever, and drum and bass. No, never. Even now, like I did the People's Comedy last night, and Henry Palmer was playing like dirty drum and bass in the break, and I was literally like, "Ew, this is horrible. Where's the Spice Girls?" So no, I'm a pop diva. I like Whitney, Britney, and Cher. And I like rap and R&B actually. So I always really I love Nicki Minaj. I love Cardi B. I like a bit of Missy Elliott, a bit of Salt and Pepper. So I suppose that was more.
But was this what you were listening to whilst you were rocking around in tracksuits?
Yeah. I'm a pop. Yeah, even then, pop then. And then my jitter phrase went a little bit into Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco.
Right, okay.
Kaiser Chiefs, The Killers.
Right, okay.
And I used to work when I was about 18. I worked at the Louisiana, which is a music venue, and they used to have really cool bands. And I would be working at the bar, and they'd quite often be like, "Oh, do you want to go?" Because there was 2 bars. Downstairs was like a pub. Upstairs was the music venue, and they'd be like, "Oh, Dani, do you want to go work upstairs bar so you can watch the band?" And I'd always be like, "No." I liked being downstairs where all the locals would come in and just chatting to like the old blokes in like regulars that would come in. And my best one though, used to work with a guy called Joe, and we were on shifts all the time together. We were there at the same time, and he was lovely, and he had a band, and he always used to be like, "Dani, do you want to come upstairs and see my band?" And I'd be like, "No, thanks," like whatever, like politely, I'm not bothered. And then he'd be like, "Oh, how about next week? My band's going to play. Like, you're not working. Do you want to come?" And I'd be like, "No, thank you." Like, not a massive like live music fan. Anyway, that was Joe from the Idols, and
I was about to say, I can tell where this is going. That's amazing.
And then like I didn't see him for years, and then I saw him headlining Glastonbury, and I was like, "Oh shit, I probably should have gone to see that when I worked with him."
That's so funny.
But maybe now he's thinking he should come see comedy with Dani Johns. No, he's definitely not thinking that.
It's definitely a Bristol match waiting to happen. You can definitely do some charity events together.
Yeah.
We used to go to a little night, and we were like, it was like a locally run thing in Luton, and it was, I think it was DTA Productions, but they would have like some local bands play, and then like a bigger band would come and headline, and basically we would go because we could see our friends in a band, in one of the smaller bands, and we would try and get served there, but usually couldn't. But there was a pub around the corner where we could get served. But so we would go and watch our friends in the small bands, and then there'd be a headline band, and we'd be like, "Should we stay here, or we could probably get served in the pub?" And we'd leave, and it was just like a list of like all these like bands that people would like. If you go on forums now, like people were like, "I'd love to have seen the original Gallows," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was at a gig where they played in a tiny little sweaty venue, and I left before they came on because I wanted to go drink because I was a." That seemed more
that's exactly what the Louisiana's like. If you go there, they've reprinted loads of posters, which is really cool. But it's literally, it's like 1994, Coldplay, 1997, like Amy Winehouse.
Coldplay again.
I couldn't think of any other band. I was like, but Amy Winehouse was there. They've got pictures of Amy Winehouse, and who else? Scissor Sisters, Corinne Bailey Rae, Queens of the Stone Age. Like every band you could think of has passed through there, like indie rock style.
It's a good reason to support local live music, because eventually when 100%. Somebody gets massive, you can be like, "Oh, I saw them on a tiny little stage for cheap, and I don't need to see them. I don't need to pay extra."
Yeah, and same with comedy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Come and see us while we're cheap, because one day you might not be able to afford us.
I will become an expensive whore.
He had an idea.
Check out And There You Go, the hot new single from Branching Audio. Available on Bandcamp and all music streaming platforms. For fans of down-tempo, chill-out, lo-fi, lemon jelly, bonobo and public service broadcasting. Taken from the forthcoming album Cassette Recollection, out September 5th.
Wonderful.
And There You Go by Branching Audio. It certainly is music. Right, Dani, I'm going to quiz you on your expertise because you're obviously an expert. I've written you a theme tune for this quiz.
Ooh, okay.
Chav Culture with Dani Johns. She used to be a chav, but she's not anymore. But that's quite interesting.
Quiz.
Yeah! Love it.
Brilliant. So, Dani, what do the letters CHAV stand for?
Castle House of Violence! Do-do-do!
Bow, 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 bow. So violent. The Castle House. Correct, 1 point.
Yes.
Question number 2. True or false? If garage music isn't actually made in a garage, it's just sparkling jungle.
True. I don't know. I'm not good with music.
Great.
Is sparkling jungle a real thing, or have you made that up? You made that up.
It wouldn't be like me to make shit up.
It was the sparkling that threw me off. I was like, "Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds pretty."
Sparkling jungle. I'm sure there's some variety of that. Let's go with true. Well done. Question number 3. What decibel level is an anti-loitering alarm?
69.
Nearly. It's 75 to 104. So
Oh, shut up. That was so
Nearly.
close.
Yeah. Have you ever been around those loitering alarms?
What are you going to say? Have I ever had one?
Oh, have you been somewhere where they've got an anti-loitering alarm and it's really...
No, I don't think I have. First of all, I thought you meant like a tag, like your tag going off.
Oh, right. There you go. There's the credentials right there.
They're loud.
Are they? Go on, tell me. Have you had a tag?
Like I said, I've never had a tag. No, but I know people who have. Look, I tell you this all the time. I say, I'm like, look, some of my friends and family are wonderful. Some of them are shitbags. Like,
Right. Well, so they used to have like, I don't know if they still have them because I think they got told to stop doing them. But at one point, there were shops that didn't want like youths hanging out the front of their shops, and they would play like a high-pitched sound, and your hearing deteriorates as you get older. So people under a certain age can hear something that adults can't hear, and so that's why there's like a particular decibel level and frequency that it would basically be so annoying that they'd move on. I remember my friend getting that sound up in his house, being like, "This is what it sounds like," and him and his brothers were all like, "Oh God, turn it off!" And his mum thought we were playing a prank. She was like, "What are you on about? You just
so
can't
what's
hear
an
it."
anti-loitering alarm then? Does that go off in like public places?
It's just basically just this like pitch, just like beep, 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 and it's just really annoying. And it's basically because people older than above a certain age who will actually go into the shop and spend money won't hear that, whereas the kids outside the front will be deterred from loitering outside the front because it's so annoying. But I think I can't remember if they still use them. Oh, okay. Question number 4: in what year was Burberry founded?
Oh, I want to say. I want to say it like hit the dance floor in like 2002, but it's probably older than that. Can I get like a decade?
You can get a decade, yeah, the 50s.
Oh, all right, 1957.
I mean, close. You were only 101 years out. It's 1856.
What? Oh, I did not know it was that old.
Founded 169 years ago in Clinston Road in Basingstoke. So for those of you that don't know, Chav, one of the most key signifiers of Chav culture to me is knock-off Burberry hats, T-shirts.
I've promised myself if I'm ever on live at the Apollo, my gift to myself will be a real Burberry.
Now that's a Chav scoop right there. That's why if you ever
I love it. I think it looks so
and
nice.
get like a big payout, you're gonna get. You love it and you think it's so nice.
I think Burberry. I still like the look of Burberry. I mean, I still like the look of Juicy Couture tracksuits and Uggs. So whatever. Wouldn't go out with them necessarily in public. But I mean, it's just
Do you
the
have any
perfect
knockoff
travel
Burberry?
outfit. No.
Oh, so your first bit of Burberry will be real.
Well, that's only dependent on me ever being on live at the Apollo, which I don't think is really going to happen because I'm not really that bothered about being on it. Actually, let's sack it off. I'm just going to treat myself to the bag.
And your final question is, what's more offensive, Vicky Pollard or Lauren Cooper?
Vicky Pollard.
Is that more offensive than...
Yeah, I think so. Lauren, I quite like Lauren. I thought she was all right.
Okay.
Whereas, like, who would you rather like be sat with on a bus stop, Lauren or Vicky Pollard?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you are right. It's probably, yeah. Oh, well, I'm genuinely intrigued to know from your perspective.
Yeah. Also, Lauren doesn't have any kids. Vicky Pollard's got like 17 kids, so by default, she's even more annoying because I don't like being around kids. Also, that whole show is incredibly not cool anymore.
Yeah.
So she should go in the bin. I feel like most of actually no, Catherine Tate's got some ones as well that are a bit like can't do that anymore. Oh, there's everything you can't do anymore. But I like Lauren better.
What is and isn't cancelable or all day.
Hey David, am I allowed to say this word? Beep.
Yeah, you're allowed to say beep. Well done. You got 3 out of 5 there, which is pretty good. Dani, where can we find you online?
I'm here right now. But you can find me on social media platforms such as TikTok, I don't really use TikTok. That's why it was so hard to get that out. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. All my handles are the same. It's Dani Johns. And also, I've just started a little newsletter and a blog on SUBSTACK. So if anybody wants to follow me there, basically I'm going to start doing like a little newsletter. People keep asking me where I'm going to be live. And so what I'm going to do is a tiny little monthly roundup and also just like a bit of silliness and a couple of funny jokes and stories in there. So yeah, you can find me on socials. You can find me on SUBSTACK.
That's delightful. Do you have anything in particular you want to plug other than those things?
No, if anybody would join my newsletter, I would love that. It's free. But if you want to be, you know, you could, like, I don't want a sugar daddy, but I'll take a SUBSTACK daddy. So I have added a payment option.
Right.
Which was a top tip I got from, I won't name them in case, I don't know, but another comedian who's got one. And I was like, you know, you can have it free or you can have it paid. Like, what's the point in having both? And he was like, someone else told me to have both. And for some reason, I have 2 people a month who send me a $5. I don't know what. So, and I was like, well, do you know what? That's
That's good enough.
Coffees. So,
Yeah.
No, give me a follow on Substack and on Instagram. It's Dani Johns.
Fantastic. And my final thing that I would like to ask you is, can you give me a title for a song and I'll try and write that song?
What, you're going to write it now?
No, not right a second. I'll write it and put it in. I'll edit it in later.
Oh, okay. Can it be, my name's David and I secretly love Ugg boots?
Sure.
No.
That's perfect. That's great. I'll do that.
Or
That's
what about,
brilliant.
my name's...
Second
Yeah,
song.
no, I like that. Yeah.
Okay, fine. No worries. Well, Dani Johns, thank you for waking up with a whore. You are wonderful.
I didn't even know that's what you were calling this. Is that?
Oh, yeah. It's called waking up with a whore. Sorry, I should have told you that.
Love it.
My name is David. I'm a big fan of Ugg boots. Why have practicality when you can have comfort? I'm recording this at 2 in the morning on the day this episode is released. I am trying to be quiet to not wake up my girlfriend. It was supposed to take 2 minutes, but I got carried away laying up the guitar. I'm stood in the kitchen. This episode was riddled with audio issues, and this song isn't helping that. Of ADHD too hard. Of ADHD too hard. But I'm a big fan of Ugg boots.
Thank you once again to the amazing Dani Johns for being on this episode. Please go give Dani a follow at It's Dani Johns, DANI Johns, on all the socials. The way this podcast works, I put out a guest episode on Mondays, and then Tuesday through Fridays, I do a shorter mini morning encouragement episode where I just give you a little bit of encouragement in the morning and tell you what's going on in my life, as well as peppering in some fucking nonsense. This week, I have some family commitments to attend to, so I'm not putting out brand new episodes each day. But I will still be putting out episodes because when I first tested this show, I tested it on my mailing list on Substack. Please go join my mailing list on Substack, davidhoare.substack.com. And so a few people saw those episodes. I did that just to get a feel for what I thought the episode should be. So I'm putting them out properly on all the streaming platforms that you're using to listen to this. They were really, really, really fun, but you'll see me trying to figure out what the hell this is. So they're from a couple of weeks ago. I hope you still enjoy them. I also hope that today you do the bare minimum, eat 3 meals, go for a walk if you can, clean your water bottle, give someone you love a hug if you can, like a nice hug, not a creepy hug, but just like have like a nice hug. I hope that the rest of your morning goes well. My name is David Hoare, and thank you for waking up with a whore.
Try and have an adequate day. Meet your basic needs and go be a dick.